Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. So my wedding is approaching in a couple of months, and like all brides, I want to save some money where I can. Flowers are a huge expense. I didn't realize how expensive they were when I started wedding planning, and I just can't see the point of paying hundreds of dollars for something that is going to be seen from further away, such as florals for a decorative ceremony arch. And your guests are only going to be able to appreciate those florals for a couple minutes of the day. I'm going to create some of my larger decorative pieces that are going to be seen more from afar, so you can't tell that they're faux flowers. And I'm going to create these using only supplies that I have found at the dollar store. But I promise you, they're not going to look like dollar store flowers when we're finished. So let's get started. I'm gonna make a couple of floral arrangements in just a couple of minutes. It's super easy. You only need a few simple supplies, and literally anybody can do this. So let's go. Okay, so these are a couple of examples of what we're going to be creating. These are floral swags for the ceremony arch, and 3 of these only cost me about $50 Canadian. First thing you're going to need are a few zip ties, a wire cutter, and a floral block. You also may need a glue gun, and of course you're going to need all of your flowers. You definitely want some with some shorter and some longer stems, and you're also going to want a lot of greenery to match with your florals. So first start by organizing all of your flowers according to size, and then we can start adding them to the floral block. But before we do that, we want to prepare the block so that it can easily be attached to any surface or arch that we want. So I'm just going to take a couple zip ties and zip tie a few together so they reach around the perimeter of the floral block, and then secure those tightly. Once those are on there with a little bit of space in between, you should be able to stick your finger in there. You just want to clip off the edges. You want to start your arrangement using the main pieces that you've collected. So in this case, it's going to be my flowers. So using the wire cutters, I've just clipped off the top of that flower and unsecured the leaves as well, because we're going to be using those later. You just want the stems to be long enough so that they can stick in the block properly and not move around. So I'm going to start here by just positioning the flowers where I want them, and keeping in mind that I'm going to be filling in a lot of the space with fillers, which are the greenery, the leaves, the smaller flowers, and stuff like that. So just put the main elements of your arrangement on there first to kind of give you an idea of where you want things positioned. And then you're going to want to stick in any longer pieces that you might want draping over a side or just flowing down. So add those pieces in that are going to lengthen the whole arrangement, and then just start filling in all of the areas with any of your other pieces of varying lengths. The whole piece definitely looks better if you cut apart a lot of the leaves that come in the bunches. It just looks a little bit more natural, and you can place the smaller leaves wherever you need a filler piece. Depending on where you're hanging your arrangement, you may want to cover the back and the sides as well. In my case, the only part that's going to be seen on these is the front and a bit of the top and the bottom. So I'm just going to make sure to cover enough of that floral block so that it's not visible from where my guests are going to be seeing it from. So this is the first one completed. I really like how it turned out. I like how the sides just kind of drape over the cloth here. So now I'm going to share one more arrangement idea that would look awesome draped over a welcome sign or something of that sort. So I'm just continuing the same process here, starting with my main elements and then deciding how long I want the piece to be by using those longer stemmed pieces. Also, I should mention that, of course, you should match the florals to the colors of your wedding reception and ceremony. My colors are a lot of greenery and pops of white and tiny pops of blush pink. So the majority of my whole reception and everything is going to be greenery. So that's why I've included a lot of that in these arrangements. The reason I mentioned the glue gun in the very beginning is because you will probably want to go back in after you've completed your whole piece and just add a bit of glue to each end of the stems that attach into the floral block. You just don't want anything falling out, and you can easily just run a bead of glue along the connecting points of each of those pieces. Another tip that I wanted to mention is when purchasing your flowers, try to opt for the ones that are a little bit more realistic looking. I know that can be hard, especially if you're at a dollar store, but there are visible differences between flowers that look a little too fake and plasticky versus ones that don't. Of course, you can always try some higher quality artificial flowers if you want to. You can get these on Amazon, or there's various artificial flower places online. These serve the purpose that I wanted them to, being seen from further away, so I'm really happy with how this one turned out as well. And to attach these to posts or anything, all you have to do is run a wire or whatever you're using to attach it through these back pieces right here, and you're all set. Now you could do the same arrangement using real flowers. My dilemma was that I didn't want to have to purchase a whole bunch of real flowers and then be creating all the florals the day before the wedding, because with real flowers you definitely have that limited timeline that you can work with them in. So that's why I opted for these ones. So here's that finished piece. I think this will look really good hanging over our welcome sign. Overall, I'm really happy with how these turned out. I think the first one that I created is definitely my favorite. That one's going to be hanging over the top of our arch. And I really hope that you guys like this as well. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more wedding DIYs. I'd also love to know what is something that you spent money on for your wedding that you wish you hadn't. Let me know in the comments below, and I hope to see you in the next video.